gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
I have a bone to pick when it comes to Madden and his selection of pitchers. One by one, they're falling by the wayside thanks to goddamn train stuff.
A lot of things got accomplished. Otani,
The Angels lead the goddamn league with injuries again.
I am beyond pissed off right now because the only thing I wanted to yell was "fuck."
Good morning, everybody. How you doing this morning? It's the Todd Fox post-game show. Last night I was at the game against Baltimore. I was freezing my ass off, and also I had to take Rally Chris. I was like the taxi last night, so I had to take Rally Chris home. He was the opposite way in Irvine, and then I go to take my homies home, and like by the time I get home it's like 11:45, and I gotta freaking go to work. So like I worked the night shift, so freaking didn't get home till like 4 in the morning. It was an easy night, but still, enough is enough with that. I just want to let you guys know that's why I didn't do the post game. I'm gonna try to get to it tonight after the game. I'm going to the game tonight, I'm pretty sure. So like if you're coming out to the game, be sure to come by and say hi. If not, probably do a late post game or just maybe do a Sunday morning thing. It depends on how it goes. But last night's game was a bit of a letdown, a bit of a frustration, losing to the Orioles, a team that the Angels should beat on the regular. It should not be something to where we're taking an L to a team that's inferior. But they're 8-6 out the gate. It kind of, look, they struggled against a good team. I'd be like, okay, it is what it is. But they played so good against Houston in those two games where they were hitting the ball, taking walks, working the count, things like that. Even when they strike out, they were having good at-bats against a good, superior team. And you know what? It just did not go the way they thought last night. Now, going into this, when we did the podcast, we previewed the Baltimore series and the pitching staff and kind of broke it down. And the pitching staff for the Orioles is young, but they're strong. They have strong arms. And the bullpen is decent. But the starting pitching, you have to get them out of the game. If you leave them in the game, they're going to get victories like they did against Oakland, 2-1, 5-1, 4-1, stuff like that. And they beat other teams like even the Yankees. They beat them a couple times because their pitching was pretty good. So Zimmerman was coming in there with no runs allowed in his first start. And he came out there and he pitched pretty decent again last night. And, he had the Angels under the wraps for a while. Detmers made a mistake early, but he wasn't too bad. He pitched 5 innings. I'll get into what he did here in a second. Reed Detmers, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits and 2 earned runs and 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Now, you look at that line right there, and you think to yourself, damn, like that's not bad. And like when I came home last night, my dad was like, "Boy, he sucked last night. Reed Detmers needs to go down." I'm like, that is not the problem. I don't know what you're watching, but Reed struggled. But 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. Don't you think, as Angels fans, and there's some fans I know that are just like my dad. They're so upset that like he's taking losses. It's like, but he pitched. This was his best start so far. Like he had a 3 1/3. It's going to take him a little while. The stuff is there. I mean, he's not like an Andrew Heaney guy. I don't think he's going to struggle and get injured all the time and have, just be inconsistent. I think eventually he'll be on his feet as one of the premier good starters that the Angels have. But, I mean, that's not a bad start. The guy I'm disappointed with last night who probably cost us the game in the nutshell was Archie Bradley. Archie Bradley came in for a third of an inning. He was roughed up, 3 earned runs on 4 hits. I was thinking of giving him the Nacho Night Award, but I'm not going to do that. Jimmy Hergot pitched an inning and 2/3, pitched pretty good. Oliver Ortega continues to shine, pitched an inning right there. And then Austin Warren, the same thing, came in there in an inning. So you look at the 3 guys they got out of the bullpen, they got 3 2/3 of scoreless baseball, but they had Archie Bradley give up the big 3 runs because if you look at what the Angels did later on, you got a 2-run homer from Rendon to make it a 5-3 lead. The problem was in this game offensively, there was too many double plays. Angels hit into 4 double plays, and if you look at the amount of guys that left on base, I think they only left on 3 guys total because they were into too many double plays last night. The 4 double plays, and I will say that, Joe Adell had, he had some decent at-bats up there. Even though once he struck out, he was working the counts late. I thought Velasquez, he got that one hit that was really an error, but that, I'm hoping he can get going, but he hit into a double play. I think it was Stassi hit into one. Jared Walsh came off the bench. Joe Madden said that Ohtani's going to play basically every game. I think this is one he should have sat out. To be honest with you, he should have sat this one out. I know it's coming off of an off date, but he should have sat this one out. Lefty, Zimmerman's tough, and Shohei Ohtani was overmatched all night. Taylor Ward had a good night defensively and both hitting as well. He had 2 big hits. Should have scored, but he was knocked off the bases twice by double plays, which was depressing. But he made 3 spectacular catches in the outfield, 2 against the wall. One, I thought he was turned around. He was for sure going to miss it, but he was turned around twice, and he went left, and then he made the catch, and then he caught one against the wall. Trout looked really good in center field. Unfortunately, he struck out a couple times. Mayfield looked terrible up there at the plate last night. The Angels, look, it comes down to this. Baltimore, 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Angels had 3 runs, 8 hits. Those 4 double plays killed them last night. Absolutely killed them last night. So, 4 double plays will do that to you. And so let me get into real quick who is the Nacho who wins the Nacho player of the night. So it's Nacho night.
All right, folks, it's Nacho night.
So one of these days I will get it right. I'll say it off the bat. It's Nacho night, presented by Paul Sereno, the Angels' fat-ass hitting instructor who really doesn't do anything and eats nachos. The Nacho Night Award is given to the worst player on the field, and it could be an Angel, could be an Oriole, and it is an Angel. And as much as I love the guy, much as he's a fan favorite, we're going to give it to Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, this is the second time he's won the award. The other time he won it was when he got shelled as a pitcher, and then he had a bad night behind, hitting as well. But last night, he should have had the night off against a tough lefty. He should have came off the bench. I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with Walsh in the lineup instead of him, even though Walsh hasn't really hit lefties all that good lately. But they are pampering Walsh, and they are really letting Ohtani do whatever he wants. But last night, he was overmatched. He had the hat trick in his first 3 plate appearances, meaning he had 3 strikeouts right away. And then he hit into a crucial double play when, you have a chance you have the tying runner on, and he freaking grounds into a double play. It happened with him twice, like the time before, like he kept leading off the innings because he's a leadoff hitter. Really, he should be hitting the power spot, but every time he came up, there was a double play ahead of him. You know what I mean? To where it took him out. So his last time he was up, you have Trout right behind you, and it's 5-3. And if he can somehow get on or not hit into a double play, you have Trout right there representing the go-ahead run, or at least if you get out, Trout's the tying run. And he took us right out of the inning, and Trout had to lead off the 9th inning, I believe it was. So the 8th inning, he hit into a crucial double play, which killed a rally. And last thing before I get into the comments, last thing I was going to say is I had this premonition when I was with Rally Chris. I told him, I'm like, bro, Jared Walsh comes up 6th in the inning. I think he's going to hit a walk-off home run. I feel it. And I was feeling a walk-off 3-run homer last night if he could just get to the plate. And unfortunately, you had 2 guys strike out right in front of him. You had Brandon Marsh come off the bench and strike out on a highly questionable pitch last night. The umpiring wasn't too bad last night, so I'm not going to say, the umpires cost us. It wasn't really that. It was just the Angels couldn't get out of their own way. Too many double plays, killing rallies, and Archie Bradley's bad inning. If that bad inning doesn't take place, the Angels win this one in a squeaker, or at least they go to extra innings. So, yeah, that was very tough last night. And then you had last night, real quick before I get to the comments, you had the freaking the Mariners win last night, and then I think so Houston lost. They're like in 4th place. It's too early to really looking at standings, but it's still fun to be like, oh, okay, where are they at right now? So at 8-6, you're still tied for first place. It's not bad, but we got to get them today. And on the podcast, I would love to have called a sweep against the Orioles, but the Orioles have been playing good baseball. So I'm hoping the Angels can get these next 2 games like they've done the last 2 series. They lose the first one, then they win the series. Hopefully that trend continues, take 2 out of 3. Because as we know, if you take care of your division and you win series, it doesn't matter how you get them, but if you win or at worst split series, you're going to make the playoffs no matter what. No matter what. If you split series or win series. So splitting the 4, winning 2 out of 3. If you do that the entire season, you are going to make the playoffs. Guaranteed. You're going to have enough wins to make it into the postseason. So as long as we're doing that, I'm fine. Great win streak would be nice. A 5-6 game win streak, that would be great. But if you can tell me we're winning series consistently or all the time, hell yeah, I'll take that. I'll take a loss here and there. It is what it is. You can't win every baseball game. So today we come back with Thor, and then we got, who's pitching the last game? I think it's Suarez. So I feel confident before we play that Ohio team that I won't refer to for a 4-game set, and they're actually playing a lot better than we thought they are. I think pitching-wise they're kind of suspect, but hitting, oh man, they're mashing the ball there in Ohio. So we're gonna have to watch out for that team formerly known as the Indians. So let's get into the comments. I know it's an early morning Saturday. I appreciate everyone jumping in here. Connor says, good morning. Eric Bug says, I'm going to the game tonight. Well, Eric, come by and say hi because we'll be there as well. I don't know where we're sitting because we're doing those game time late, like last-minute ticket things because I saw they raised the prices for tonight, and then they also there's limited seating, actually. Tonight's going to be pretty packed, so I'm just letting you guys know. Connor also says, I was upset last night from the game. Yeah, we were there going to the game tonight, too. Let's see. Archie Bradley is trash. Ryu says, yeah, he has not come out and did a good job so far. Christopher Rojas says, Todd Fox, good morning. The morning show. Kevin Campos says, Bradley is very unlucky pitcher. Don't think he is bad, just gets unlucky cheap hits. Yeah, he's not getting pounded. He's not out there throwing like Myers. But unfortunately, yeah, I mean, one pitcher, one bad move or just one bad inning like he had last night pretty much cost us the game. That 6th inning cost us the game. But, in a way, you got to look at it like this. The Angels really weren't doing anything for the first 5 innings. And as soon as they went up 5-0, the Angels did get a run. They should have got more of that inning, but they mustered in a run. And then the 7th inning, they were able to get 2 more on the 2-run homer by Rendon. So in a ways they were rallying in the 8th inning. They could have had a rally. They took themselves out of that, and then they did the same thing in the 9th inning. Because I would have loved to have seen the Angels have the tying run up at the plate, and which they did. But I mean, like the go ahead. I mean, if I just had this overwhelming feeling, I thought that Walsh was going to hit a walk off. Christopher Rojas says Archie Bradley and Mike Myers needs to be DFA'd. Well, Bradley, I think he got a 1-year deal, or I could be wrong. It could be 2 years. Art Ramos says Ward made a bad throw, allowing. Oh, that's right. That was in that 2-run inning. Art brought it up a good point. He missed the cutoff man, and I don't know if it's because Velasquez is short or because Ward was just overthrowing the ball, but if he hits Velasquez on the cutoff, because we were sitting in the right behind home plate on the 500 level, like the row A, and you could see everything. And yeah, if he hits Velasquez on that throw, the runner is dead to rights between first and second. But he overshot it and went to third, and the runner went to second, and both those runs scored. And only 1 run score. So that's the beauty of baseball. One play here, one play there changes the entire complexity of the game. Like I said, Bradley doesn't have that bad inning. Velasquez gets hit on that cutoff. We're talking about an Angels victory. We're talking about a 3-1 win. Rendon, the hero, with a 2-run homer. And the Angels bullpen quiets the O's at the end, because the O's really didn't put up much of a battle after that 6th inning. They were pretty much quiet. See, Mate says that was bullshit. The second base ump got in the way with a double play. Yeah, there was that too, Mate. I forgot about that. Dan says, damn but true. Umps 5, Angels 3 because the calls were terrible. Detmers, especially the last third strikeout that was the third strikeout that was bad. But let's see, Thor will get us the win today. Avengers assemble, Art says. Rally Chris says, I had fun with you and the guys, especially finally meeting James last night. Yeah, Rally Chris was there with a few of my other friends. James Dean says, Angels doing Angels things. On to tonight's game. Let's bounce back. That's the overwhelming, feeling feeling for us Angel fans is like, I think it's a little bit better than it was last year. Last year's more doom and gloom. How many games are we going to lose? Can the starters stay in there? I think we're talking about the starters only in the fact of the way of, hey, you know, we're hoping that they can go more than 5 innings. Like, how long is Madden going to leave them in there? You know, let's not tax the bullpen type of stuff. That's what we're talking about when it comes to starters. But we actually have faith in the starters, and we actually have that mentality of, hey, that sucked last night, but let's turn the page. So yeah, I like that, Jason. I think a lot of fans need to adopt that too moving forward. You know, we have a team that can win games. My only concern is that you have to clean up against these teams. Like I said, you're not going to win every game, but as long as we take these next 2 against the O's, I feel a little bit better about it. And if we take 3 out of 4 from Ohio, I feel really good about it. Because, again, we have a winnable April and we have a winnable May. And you want to take care of these games early because you're going to see these teams like start off slow, like in the East. Like Boston's not going to be where they're at all year. The Yankees aren't going to be in 4th all year, I don't think. And you're going to see, you know, other teams like Chicago who struggled out the gates, who lost a lot of games to Ohio already. They're going to start getting on a roll, start winning a lot of games with La Russa. You know, obviously Houston's going to right itself and start winning. So you want to take advantage of these early season matchups because, again, I looked at the schedule, when we get to June and July, that is going to test whether this team makes the postseason or not. Because in June and July, we're playing the Dodgers a couple times. We're playing I think we're playing the Mets, the Braves. We're playing nothing but contending teams, White Sox, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Rays. I mean, we're playing all the top-tier teams that were either in the postseason, flirting with the postseason, or projected to be in the postseason this year. So those 2 months are going to be very difficult, and sprinkle in Houston in there too. So the Angels are going to have their hands full when it comes to those 2 months. So right now, you want to take advantage of what the schedule gods have given you. And finally, we have a good, a decent enough April to where if they take advantage, stay healthy, this team should be over 500, flirting with first place or at first place by the end of April. And then we'll see where they're at come May. And hopefully they're in the same position, a few games to close to 10 over. Because that's what I'm hoping. If this team is like 10 games over at the end of May, I think you and me can think right away postseason. Like we have a really good chance of postseason. We stay healthy, we do the right things, and he lets Madden doesn't F things up because Madden's the wild card. I think we all can agree. We're all frustrated with his lineups. We're all frustrated with his pitching decisions. And if he can just pull his head out of his ass and play a little bit of conventional baseball every now and then, this team should win by itself. It really should. But I think he tweaks with things way too much, and we have way too many options in the infield. And, this lineup I know this lineup doesn't feel right. I would almost bet everything I have to know that if he would just give Ohtani and freaking Trout that 3-4 spot, that this team would just go on a roll because you have guys that can set up these hitters. And I think that's what this team needs, and they don't have at the moment. He's not allowing it to happen. Let's see. Eric Bug says he's sitting in 260 tonight. If anything, we might be in the pavilion or somewhere in the 400s. So I'm just giving you a heads up on that. We'll meet up because I walked around last night and ran into a bunch of people, a lot of cool people last night. Rally Chris met up with some people. So the Angel fans are awesome. The Angel family is awesome. I like our pitching and bullpen. It's often it's awesome to see. It's often, but it needs to be consistent. Art Ramos says. Roman says, turn the page. We'll take the next 2. There you go. I like that. A lot of you guys are checking in and gals checking in. It's a little bit low on the count this morning, but hey, it's to be expected. I wanted to do the post game last night, but like I said, I got in way too late. So if you guys got any more comments, questions, or concerns, we'll get to that. And let's see. I know the lineups, it's way too early for the lineups for today's game, but I do know I can give you the scouting report on who's pitching later on. Let's see here. Because I got the, let's see, type it up for you for the Angels. Obviously, we know Thor's going tonight. Let's see if I can get you the pitcher for the Orioles tonight. And it's another pitcher that I don't think has an ERA. So that's the only other problem here. Let's see. We got my internet. Hold on. My internet's lagging here for a second. Should be going fast, but it is what it is. Let's see. It's not giving me any updates on it. Anyway, look, Thor's going to pitch tonight. I like our chances. The Orioles are going to go with another pitcher because I think the highest ERA they had in this 3-game series for pitchers when we did the podcast was only at 2.25. So they got two guys coming in here with 0 ERAs who have pitched really good for the Orioles. Have pitched in limited innings, but they have pitched good enough to lead the game to their bullpen with a lead or just, tied at 0. So, I mean, the Orioles are going to have to manufacture runs. They don't really have too many good hitters other than Mullins and the guy that came back from cancer. I'm blanking on his name. But they did, other than that, it's a minor league team, straight up. And they could be a team that could bite you in the ass, and they did last night. So we'll have to see how things go moving forward tonight. And I will, like I said, if I get on the post game, it's either going to be real late or there you go, Mancini. Trey Mancini, Danny says, thank you. Watkins goes tonight, Rally Chris says. Yeah, so that's it's Trey Mancini and Mullins are probably your two best hitters, and you have to worry a little bit about Mateo at the bottom of the order because he could flip the order pretty quick. He's he's a fast, speedy dude, so you don't want to let a guy like that get on base. So the Orioles are going to be scrappy. You can't take them lightly, and I think the Angels did last night. I think that part when it comes to managing, the Angels Madden needs to do a better job. I think he needs to get these guys pumped for every game, any opponent, and don't take them lightly. We're not good enough to take them lightly. You got to make a what is it called? You got to be good before you can do that. You got to be a playoff perennial team before you can take teams lightly and it'd be accepted by the fans, So I'm hoping that the Angels do not do that here tonight, and let's even this series and hopefully win it on Sunday. And Danny also checks in with Chineros. Chineros was the dude. Yeah, Chineros was the guy that got that big 2-run hit. Let's see, we got an incoming call here. So I think this is Rally Chris. What's up, Rally Chris? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's up, Rally Chris? How you doing this morning, man?
Disappointing loss, but just like the last few series and everything, we lost the first game and then we bounced back, and I got the Angels winning the next 2 games. Our offense gonna pick it up again next 2 games.
Yeah, I'm hoping so because it would be nice to get some like last night. I think me and you were saying the same thing watching the game. Like they went back to the launch angle. They weren't trying to get hits last night. They weren't doing the small things, and they hit into 4 double plays last night. So, and not too many.
It's like their offense was asleep over the weekend. Over the road trip, they're like didn't even know. Oh, they're just back at Angel Stadium and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of disappointing because the last 2 games they really showed what they can do. They showed that they can hit and they could move guys over and put pressure. And now it's like they went back to doing the same thing. And then when they actually did get a guy on base, it's like, well, let's hit a hot shot right to the infielder. So yeah, that was bad.
True.
Yeah, but big.
Just hope.
Okay.
Just hope they. Well, I know it probably won't, but just hope Madden could do like what we want and move the Ohtani 3rd and Trout 4th, or Ohtani batting 2nd and then Trout 3rd.
Yeah, because I think right now, as the season's gone on so far, I think you can kind of tell which guys can be the leadoff guy, which guy could be a number 2 guy. And I'm still lobbying for Rendon to be that 2 guy, or just go with like a Duffy / Wade, in that 1 to 2 spot to get guys ahead, or even a Marsh who has occasional pop fast. Because imagine if you put Wade as leadoff and then you put Marsh at 2 and then you go Trout 3 or Ohtani 3 and then Trout 4, you're going to score some runs. And right now you put Velasquez, who's struggling at 9, hitting defensively he's great, but hitting at 9, you're not flipping the lineup over with any kind of like consistency. And it just, I don't know, it just bothers me that he has not wanted to change. He's so stubborn, dude.
True. I'm thinking maybe they should I know it's too early, maybe just give Detmers a little bit more appearances in the AAA, because so far he's like 0-3 and everything.
Yeah, although I mean, like he pitched good last night. He actually I think he only like threw like 70 pitches. They could have thrown him out there in the sixth. They didn't necessarily have to go to Bradley, but it's that whole like I'm not gonna like put any faith in my starters that Madden has. I'm not gonna let these young kids work out of their problems. I actually thought being down 2-0 they would go to like Jaime and let him get a couple more innings in there, but no. I mean, it's weird because I don't picture Bradley as a guy you bring in when you're losing, you know. But okay, you know, that's just what they've been doing. He's been doing a lot of unconventional stuff again. So there you go.
Or they could have brought in Gortero.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, the rest of the guys pitched good, so that was encouraging. But you just had that one blip with a bullpen. So all right, bro.
Because minus that Bradley, we would have won that 3-2.
Yeah, it would have been a 3-2 game, you know. But unfortunately, that's how the ball goes, man. And but the Angels have no one to kick but themselves. I don't think you could blame this one on the umps. I think it's just like you hit into too many double plays. You weren't patient at the plate or didn't have good at bats. Like even when Velasquez struck out a couple times, he was swinging hard. Like swinging really hard. And for a leadoff guy, I mean, Adele actually had Adele and Ward's approach to the plate was much better than Velasquez. You know, Velasquez looked like he was hitting home runs. Wade was just trying to put the ball in play and get a hit. Same thing with Adele. And I think their at-bats were a lot better. So,
yeah.
So, all right, brother. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, probably tonight or whatever. And had fun last night. So have a good day, bro.
All right, go Angels.
There you go.
Let's beat the Orioles tonight.
Yep, 2 out of 3. You're calling it. All right, so that was Rally Chris right there. Let's get back to the live here. Gets in a couple more comments. Mathematics says, I look tired. Yeah, well, I worked nights last night, so I just wanted to get on here and do this post-game that I should have did last night. We hit into 4 double plays last night, Yvette. Angel's grandma says we have to be able to beat the lesser teams and not just focus on the better teams. Absolutely. You got to take one game at a time. I know it's a hard cliche. It's an annoying cliche, but it is so true in so many ways, and don't take your opponents for granted. Let's see. Uncle, you on early? Yes, I am. Art Ramos says Marsh. He likes Marsh. Do you think Moreno is one of the there's one telling to put Ohtani and Trout 1-2 Ryu? It could be part of their strategy as far as trying to get these guys the most out of the at-bats, but I still don't like that logic. Again, I've gone over this many times on the show, and we've talked about this in the podcast. How many other teams are putting their best hitter? I mean, their best hitter. Like, say, for instance, Boston still had David Ortiz, and they had Kevin Youkilis. Did you ever see David Ortiz and Kevin Youkilis hit 1-2? No. Why are we doing it with these guys? You have a future Hall of Famer in Mike Trout with Hall of Fame numbers, not able to get the amount of RBI chances that he should get by batting second. And Ohtani the same way. Do you want a bunch of solo home runs? Because I think that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get the true production that you can get from these guys if you put them better in the lineup. So I think it's more, I mean, you bring any other manager in here and they're going to put Ohtani and Trout in a better spot. They're not going to put them in a hamstrung spot to where they can only do certain things. So hopefully Madden pulls his head out of his butt and gets the correct lineup out there. Because as fans, we could see it, and he still refuses. And he is as stubborn as a freaking ox right now. He does not want to listen to anybody. He's only been called out twice, I think, by local reporters about it not being a good lineup. Other than that, everyone just kisses Madden's butt because we have like the softest media coverage ever for a Major League Baseball team. At least even the Padres have more effective beat writers that actually ask the hard questions, who grilled last year's manager and called him out on the carpet for losing the team. They have stuff like that. The Angels don't have that. They just have a bunch of yes men, a bunch of people that are not going to challenge Artie Moreno. I mean, he owns the radio station, so you think the radio station is going to call him out for a second about his decisions? No, it's like they're only going to, like, same thing with on opening day. We were right there, and Roger Lodge is just kissing Artie's butt live on radio, just saying, "Oh, it was you that signed this guy, and it was you that signed this guy, and what a great contract you gave to this guy." It's like, no, That was Perry Manassian. He just signed the freaking contracts. You think Artie does the scouting? You think Artie freaking knows that these pitchers have a whip of so low or that they have an ERA against these? He knows all the analytics? No. It's Perry, but guess who gets all the freaking recognition when the team's winning? There you go. So that's the problem right there. I think the Angels have always had this ego thing where the Eagles are just outshining what they actually have. So, like, at some point, you know, Artie's got to step back and let this team run its own course, and Madden's got to step back and realize what he's got on that roster. He's got a talented roster. I think we can all agree this is a team that's come out so far. I'm really impressed what they have. I'm really impressed what they've built, and I think this team could be a lot better, but they've kind of just killed themselves in their own situations because of poor coaching or poor managing. You know, like these hitting instructors are not giving these guys up-to-date, you know, changes during the game. They're not trying to help them better themselves in future at-bats. And then you have Madden just like, oh, I'm playing pitcher roulette. I'm taking him out after 2 innings, 3 innings. I'm working the bullpen. Dude, it's like we have only seen one starter get to the 7th inning. You know, and as great as Ohtani pitched the other day, he would not let him go for the 7th inning to get that extra strikeout to set a new career high. He let Ohtani tie his career high with 12. I would have let him go one more inning. He only had 80 pitches going. And again, you know, like I have a feeling it's not going to change. He's saying, oh, it's early in the season, but I doubt it. He's still going to be the same way. Anthony Gonzalez says Ohtani sucks at home. Duffy, Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, Walsh, Stassi, Marsh, Adele, Wade. See, that's not a bad lineup right there. You still got Ohtani too. I'm still not crazy about that, but at least he's not number one. And again, Duffy's batting like, you know, I think he had a hit last night, but he's batting something good like 330, 340. So, yeah. See, Ohtani is pulling his front foot out, turning his head. He needs to step towards the pitcher. Yeah, he's already sliding himself to the right side towards first base, Anthony. That's a good pickup right there. And when he's swinging like that, trying to do an Ichiro, and when he's swinging so hard his helmet falls off, he's not paying attention. He's not having good at-bats. Rally Chris says, I think it's because of short spring training, maybe trying to get them at bats, and probably by May he'll change up the lineups to Ohtani 3-4. That's the hope, Rally, but I don't see it happening. Let's see. Wizard says, at the end of the day, the players get paid all that money. They have to step up. Exactly, Wizard. Anthony Gonzalez says, I think the team should be great except the manager. Yeah, Madden was fired for a reason, and that's the trippy thing that we all talk about, which is hard to comprehend. Like, same thing with Boston. Like when Boston won the World Series, I thought Terry Francona would never have to eat or never have to pay for a meal in Boston again. And credit to him, he went to Cleveland when they were Cleveland, and did some good things over there with them. You know, he's getting the most out of a rebuilding team over there right now. But I mean, like Joe Madden, you would think when he went to Chicago and he won that World Series and beat the curse of the Billy Goat, that he would have a job forever. And the fact that he got fired, that tells you something. I mean, the people, like literally, I remember when the Cubs lost to the Marlins, how it shattered everybody because they thought they were going to go to the World Series. And when they lost to the Marlins that year, the whole, you know, the Bartman thing, the incident with Bartman, poor guy, by the way, you know, it's like the Cubs, you know, people died. You know, they weren't able to see the freaking Cubs make the World Series. People held out for that, you know, literally. And when they did win the World Series, it was emotional because people were like, dude, like, I wish my dad saw this, my mom saw this, you know, whoever passed away, you know, because they had waited, you know, they'd been Cubs fans their entire life and never saw it happen. And it finally did. So you would think with that happening, Joe Madden being the architect as a manager behind it, like, dude would be there forever. So even in a situation like that, and the Cubs being the lovable losers for a reason, I think if you would have asked them before the World Series, if you get a World Series, you know, would you trade it in for like 7 to 8 years of sucking after that? And I think most Cubs fans, if not all, would be like, hell yeah, we'd take that. Just like if you ask Angel fans, if we were able to get a World Series, but we had to sell our soul and lose for 7 years, sell the team soul and suck for 7 years, I think we would all take that. Get the World Series title, get that second ring, be able to think 20 years later we could celebrate that second ring, like we're doing this year. And the manager be praised for all time. But Madden was booted out of there 3 years later because he was that bad at mismanaging the bullpen, that bad at lineups and moves internally and causing chaos in the dugout. And so I thought when he came to Anaheim, despite all that baggage, how he left, I thought maybe egos got in the way in Chicago and that ruined things more than what his on-the-field decisions were. But when he came over to Anaheim now, I've seen it, he got hamstrung with a COVID year. He got hamstrung last year with a ton of injuries and stuff like that. But I think what it comes down to is, we're seeing the real Madden now. And we're seeing that, yeah, he's willing to go with analytics. He's willing to, work with Perry and stuff like that. But in the end of the day, this is still his car. This is still his keys. He's still going to dictate where this team goes. And I think that he's getting too much involved. Like, as much as there's certain things that some fans have pulled on this page and given us a little insight about how he's changed the way the team thinks, the way the team talks, the way the team is on the field, the way the chemistry is. There's good points there, but it's just it's in-game decisions where you're like, what the hell are you doing? You're challenging the wrong plays. You're challenging plays that shouldn't be challenged. You're not challenging the ones that should be challenged. You're pulling guys too early. You have bad lineups. Why are you pinch hitting here? Why are you asking for a bunt when you don't need to bunt? I mean, there's been a bunch of that, and we're only 14 games into the season. So that's why I think that that we have so much, and this is the last year of his contract, so it's a prove-it contract. And my thing is, if we're gonna have to deal with this maybe another couple years, because I guarantee you, he gets this team to the postseason, whether it's a one-game postseason where it's a play-in and we lose, or it's a scenario where we win that play-in and we're in a series at least of 5. I think that guarantees him at least a 2-year extension, even at his age, maybe even a 3. And then we're stuck with these Madden decisions, and I, on the other hand, I'm not going to call for anyone to get fired. I'm not a DFA specialist like the Grill Master. But if push comes to shove, and that's what's going to give the team the extra motivation to do what's right, or we need to clean house, because I'm still under the impression they hired some good coaches in the offseason, but you didn't get rid of the 2 glaring ones. I mean, you did great getting the new training staff, but you did not do what you were supposed to do and get the right hitting instructors in here. I want hitting instructors that have a resume, that did stuff not unconventionally, but did stuff that helped them, that they could pass on from their days in baseball, that kept themselves motivated. Like I said before, Carlos Delgado was a guy that I would love for the Angels to have as a hitting instructor, because before the internet, he had notebooks that he would jot down every at bat, every pitch that he saw from every pitcher, to have a scouting report for the next time he faced that pitcher, for the next time he faced that team. He knew exactly what to expect, and he charted himself. Stuff that our own guys should be doing for each additional player on the team that they're probably not doing, or at least not doing in front of us, maybe behind the scenes. But I've watched all these games, and when they pan to the dugout, the hitting instructors for every other team is taking notes on the iPad, sharing things with the ball players that just had their bats, or they're going to have their bats, and they're like 2 spots from hitting the on-deck circle, and they're getting pointers. Or if a game is going one way and they're not hitting the pitcher, they're telling them, hey, adjust your swing here, do this, do that, and you could be on a better plane to hit the ball, or you could have a better at bat. I don't see the Angels doing the in-game changes for these players. If anything, if it changes their approach, it's because the players themselves changed their approach. So that's the part that's disconcerting, and that's the part that I would like to change. Let's see. I'll get to a few more comments here. Cubs Focus says, love your page, man. Any way we can make a post together. Yeah, message me, Cubs Focus. We'll see about linking up as far as maybe doing a little podcast too, because we do a podcast. If you want to get on and we could talk Cubs baseball, Angels baseball. I mean, we do a around the league show too. So there's that. Raleigh says, I say Velasquez, Rendon, Ohtani, Trout, Walsh, Duffy, Marsh, Adele, Stassi, Fletcher, Wade. I would like Velasquez to be a guy that could be a leadoff at some point, but he's got to get on base more. I think he can be a valuable hitter. But I'm just saying he needs a little more work. Adrian Guerrero says he's over there on YouTube. He says, I'm an Angels fan since a little kid, but man, we are wasting Mike Trout's prime years, and it's sad. That's the thing too, Adrian. I mean, a lot of people look back and say, okay, Tony Gwynn's career was wasted in San Diego, but if you look at it, he had a World Series opportunity early in his career, and he had one late in his career. And at least the Padres put some really good squads around him at times. And, Mike Trout's really not gotten that. And yes, that is something that Angel fans have got to just be sour upon, is we have wasted the most prime years of this dude's career. And unless he has a second coming of his career, like a 37 to 45 home run year with 120 RBIs, sort of like what what's his name, Alex Rodriguez would do year in and year out, I don't think, his best years might be behind him, which is sad. Andrew Rivas says, game was boring until the 7th inning. Hated the lineup. I shouldn't have gone to the game. Dude, you were there, Andrew. We were there. So you got to come by and say hi. We're going to be there tonight, too. So say hi, Don't be shy. Ryu says, this year is a make or break for Madden. Absolutely. Anthony Gonzalez says, Bobby Valentine has a 523 winning percentage, and he's around the team. Bring his ass in. Let's go. You know what, Anthony? He's there for a reason. I mean, think about it. Buck Showalter went to MLB Network. A lot of these managers that lose their jobs, they'll go to the MLB Network and get a job, float around, make themselves seen on TV. These executives watch these shows, and then they wind up going right back into the freaking to the fire and becoming managers again. So look at Valentine's. Look, he's an East Coast dude. What the hell is he doing in Anaheim? I was just as shocked as all of you. There was really no press release that Bobby Valentine was on Bally's. And all of a sudden I see him on the post game in the Dodgers series, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, it's pretty cool. But then I thought about it. I'm like, they're grooming him. Like if this turns into a disaster, I could easily see Bobby just take off that suit and just like freaking Superman walk into a phone booth and put on a freaking Angels uniform and come out, and Bobby Valentine will be wearing sunglasses and a big ass mustache, and he'll be ready for the game in no time. See, we need Darren Erstad, but Moreno burned that bridge. Yes, a lot of former players don't like Artie Moreno. I can't believe we are risking Trout's future with manager like Madden. That's bullshit. Cubs Focus says he won a ring, something you guys have not done in a long time. No, we're not bashing him. If you heard my earlier banter, Cubs Focus, like he did win a ring, and he did beat that curse. But again, you guys ran him out of there for a reason. He should have been able to eat for free and get a 10-year extension if he was such a great manager. But you guys ran him out of there, and you ran him out of there for several reasons. Mathematics says, have a good day, Uncle. Yes, son, have a good day. I tried to send you a DM, said you can't because you don't accept messages from anyone. Not send one over. It's probably a request because if you don't like the page, it's sort of a request and we have to look at it that way. But or I'll send you a DM, whatever. I'll look you up, dude. See, Cubs news. We've have just like one of yours, we have a 1 in 100 years, so don't talk shit, Anthony says. That was joking. I agree with what he said. Oh, okay, there you go. See, Andrew Rivas says, where are you guys going to be today? I might end up going tonight. I'm going to be somewhere because I saw that the tickets are like they're going pretty quick, and I was going to go on Game Time. By the way, don't do StubHub, don't do Ticketmaster. Their taxes and fees are up the ass. If I were you, go to Game Time or what's the other one? Vivid Seats. They're much better. As far as Game Time's the best as far as fees and taxes. You don't pay that much. The tickets are straight up because I think yesterday I got 5 tickets that were like $17 each, and that was low for the section that we were in and being behind home plate. And then I think it came out to 123 with taxes and everything. So five tickets for that are $17 usually on StubHub would be like $200. So it was actually pretty good. So I would do that. You can save a little bit of money, but I'm gonna probably try to get in wherever I can. Tick Pick Ryu says has no fees. All right, there you go. Joey says Game Time is legit and they give you actual price. Yes, they do. They don't do hidden fees. They don't do the extra charge ups, the markups. You can get some pretty damn good deals with Game Time, especially if you're like, it's a little bit harder. Like with what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have a freaking 6 people with me tonight, so it's kind of hard to get tickets like that, the number of tickets. But if you have like maybe you're going with yourself or going with yourself, you're going by yourself or with somebody else. Between 1 and 3 tickets are real easy to get through Game Time, and you can get some really good prices because a lot of those are season ticket holders that are just trying to get rid of their tickets last minute, and they're trying to get whatever they can for it. So you could wind up in a good spot for not that much money. So I would recommend that one big time. Joey also says, already read that one. Anthony says, we should take a road trip to Oakland. Plenty of seats, bro. Dude, I'm down. Oakland's on the clock. They're going to try to get out of I heard they're going to try to get out of their lease as early as the end of this year. I don't see it happening, but I do see it next year. And they are trying to tank worse than the Cleveland Indians movie Major Leagues. They are trying to tank severely. So, and then they are already talking big time with Las Vegas to move over to Vegas. Because again, I would love the SoCal rivalry, but that's going to be gone. It's on the clock. And the A's are going to be trashed for the next 2 years. They are going to unload, again, anybody that they can. They're going to unload. They're going to be unloading so much that they're going to unload their best AAA guys. I guarantee you. They're going to make this team really, really bad to where they could have a timetable whenever they move to Vegas to start getting good, because they're not going to want to go over to Vegas as a shit show. They're going to want to go over there and start over with some good on-the-field talent. So they'll probably start signing free agents when they get over there. The thing is, you could build something like that in Vegas. So I give them all the props if they go to Vegas, because they'll get what they want, what they've always wanted in Oakland, which they can't have. And they'll probably have a nice dome stadium. It'll look something like Texas, his new stadium, and then they're gonna just be a different team. Whether they change up the Oakland A's, which I don't want to see leave with the elephant on the ball and all that stuff, and that legitimate A's logo, the green and yellow. I think they might get a new Vegas feel. It's going to suck. I don't see them as Las Vegas Athletics, but it is what it is, man. That's the nature of the beast, the nature of the game. But we'll see what happens. Let's see. Ryu says, I'm down for an Oakland trip. We should do a Halos in the Infield road trip. Yeah, that's a great idea. Maybe we go. We could go now and have August and September seats because there ain't nobody up there. I'm telling you, when they had the COVID stuff, they had probably more cardboard fans there than they have actual fans. Because, the other night they announced attendance versus Baltimore at 2,807. That's freaking embarrassing. And then they don't have their own food up there. They have food trucks. So it's not like you can walk through the Angel Stadium and find good restaurants, or go to Dodger Stadium and find bars and stuff like that. They have next to nothing inside that stadium, and then you have only food trucks on the outside. So, I know Angel Stadium has food trucks too, but you have hundreds of options to go to, at least at Angel Stadium. Oakland's a piece of trash. It's a piece of trash. Worst stadium of all time. A few more comments real quick. My boy Randy checks in. The season is over. The sky is falling. No playoffs. Sell the team. A loss early this season. My life is over. Where? Let's see. Also, Rally Chris says Bobby Valentine will probably fire up our team and especially wear a cowboy hat in the dugout. He would. That dude is a charismatic guy. I love Bobby Valentine. Some people don't, but you can't argue with what he's done in the dugout. You can't argue with his resume. And I don't think he's like Mike Scioscia where the game has passed him by. Bobby Valentine on a nightly, if you watch the Bally Sports thing, he comes with it. He knows his stuff. And the players have always generally liked him. So we'll see. And he's a guy that advocates old school fights, which the Angels never stick up for themselves. I don't think they've stuck up for themselves since early in the Scioscia years. This team does not fight. But Bobby Valentine's a guy like Clint Hurdle. It's like, no, you're not going to disrespect my guy. You throw at my guy, I'm going to throw right it back at you. And that genuinely starts fights. And sometimes you do need that. And he also is a fiery guy that will slam the door and will call people out. Something, again, the Angels haven't had in a long time. A's are keeping up. What does that SY about or say about the rest of us? Well, you know what? You got to be better. And I know it's an early season thing, but I think the A's are going to fall back in the fold at some point. Anthony Gonzalez says we have a good shot to win the West. They need to get their heads out their asses. Manny says we lost yesterday solely because of Ohtani and Madden. Agreed. Miggy hit 3,000. That's pretty cool. Miggy has been around forever, and he was actually 5 hits away just a few days ago, and he went on a little 3 for 4 the other day, got another hit the other day, and then just got his 3,000. So congratulations to him. He's most likely a future Hall of Famer. Brujo says hello. What is up, Brujo? How you doing? Let's see. We do these. By the way, we do these post games after every game. It's kind of hard for like the East Coast people or the Central people because we do have a lot of fans back east. But, you know, I wanted to do this one because I missed last night's. I had work, so that's what happened right there. Josh Oshry checks in with, then the hell with Valentine not wait. Then why the hell is Valentine not a manager right now? Because he got fired from his last gig. Again, you're either when you're as a manager, you're either hired or you're fired. It's rare when a manager can walk away on his own accord. It really is. You got to be really good to do that, number one. So you're at some point going to be fired. But I think in the long run, he can be someone that can help this team and you know, like just completely work and be conventional, and we could see the most out of it. I would like for Madden to be that guy. Like, again, I'm not advocating for him to be fired, but it's just he has not given us fans what we need to see, and also the team isn't really playing up to what I think they can be. They're missing the boat. Yes, we need a fight to get this team going, Hector says. Yeah, we do. That's the thing that, you know, I wish this team had more moxie to it. I wish that this was a team that you couldn't push over, that you couldn't throw at Ohtani up and in or Trout and not fear any consequences. So I'm hoping with some of the pitchers that we brought in, like Noah Syndergaard, like Archie Bradley, love him or hate him, Tepera, these guys that are coming from East Coast Central teams that have played on teams where, yeah, you don't hit my guy, that they can also come in here in Anaheim and be like, I know it's laid back SoCal, but you're not going to hit my guy. So I would love to see that, because I think that's something that's been gone for a while, and that the last great manager to impose that was Clint Hurdle. And I have a lot of respect for Clint Hurdle for the things that he's done, managing the Pirates, managing the Rockies, getting them winning again. But if you notice, he took no bullshit. If you hit one of his guys, he would order a hit right back on your guy. And his players respected him for that. So, I mean, that's something that I think Bobby Valentine comes from, that old school mentality. Bobby Valentine will make Mike Trout fifth and Ohtani where we need. Rally Chris says. Josh Autry also says that would be nice to see. When does the trucker hat giveaway start? That's going to be next week, Marty. We did a little preview of that thanks to Randy with that awesome video with a truck. The trucker hats are coming, and they're going to be with the Fast Times Randy under the halo. You got to look up his page. Please look up Randy Yaz right there. He's in the message. He's part of the Halos in the Infield page. He's on our podcast. Check his stuff out because he has his own designs, and we're using one of his designs thanks to him. It's that halo, the big halo that goes across the hat. I'll show you an example when we get the trucker hats in. They've already been ordered. They're in the process of coming here. They're a little late, but we're going to have those hats to give away, and you're going to like them. I know you guys are going to like them, and we possibly are going to sell them too. So if you can't win them on Trucker Hat Trivia for free, because we're going to be sending them out to you on Trucker Hat Trivia, and you play along and you win, we send one out. We did that all last year, but we're going to have them available to sell too, and at a good price. They're really nice hats, good quality, and you're going to love that golden rim. It's a hell of a design that he came up with. It's something unconventional that the Angels don't really have on their roster of logos. So this one's really, really cool. So I think you're going to like it. When Trout hits 3,000, will he be in an Angels uniform? I think a lot depends, Anthony, on what they do this year. It really does. He's got to get in the postseason. We know that he's very, very frustrated with how things have gone the last few years, and he's been super patient. So he's got to get in this year. And if he gets in this year, I believe he will sign up. And if the team continues to build, absolutely, he'll be here for his 3,000 hit. But if not, if all goes to shit, he will be in another uniform, likely an East Coast uniform. Hector also said, let's go Angels. Let's go Todd Fox. I love this shit. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Hector's a real Angel fan right there. And by the way, you want to see some nice-ass tattoos. I'm not, just check out his tattoos. Ask him if you see Hector at the game. He's a real cool cat. He looks intimidating, but he's a cool cat, and he's got some nice-ass Angel tattoos. That's all I'm going to say. The no boo doo doo 555 says hi. Okay, what's up? Randy also says Mike Schmidt for manager. He's calling for that. If we need to fight each other, just gain a pulse. Then this team is soft as fuck. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that says this team does not have the kind of pulse that should get you or warrant you a what is it called, a fight, because they're so like nonchalant about things. So hopefully that changes. Randy is beyond talented. Madi says yes, he is. He does a lot of cool stuff for this page. A lot of cool stuff. I think we have a really good team between him, Fernando, Andrew, Chase, James, myself. Courtney's worked on this as well. We've had Rally Chris on here, so it's we've done a good job. I think not to toot our own horns, but he is definitely behind a lot of the 90% of the freaking logos. Like he's been on it. He just like the stuff that you haven't seen yet is just as good, if not better, than the stuff you have seen. Josh Autry says the Angels need a general Patton as manager, a manager that takes no bullshit, a manager that gives you and tells you how it is. Hell, the manager that will just run the fucking score up and not give a shit about it. Yeah, that's well said, Josh. I mean, like when have we had a guy that's just been aggressive? Like Mike Scioscia would take the foot off the pedal too. Like when we had a lead, instead of leaving the lineup in there or staying aggressive, he'd be like, "Nah, we're up 7-2, it's okay." And then sometimes he'd lose those games because you got complacent. So yeah, you gotta keep your foot on the pedal and keep going. How's your day going? It's going good. See, screw the other team. It's a game. It's a game for a reason. Leaf says, not a Tigers fan, but happy that Miggy is getting 3,000 hits. No, it's okay. You're a baseball fan. You're a baseball fan. Yeah, and people forget, in 2006, Miggy could have been an Angel. When the Marlins were making a fire sale, the Angels were in discussions with Tony Regans, who was the general manager at the time. And it was going to be Miggy and A.J. Burnett, Dontrell Willis, the D-Train, which I would have loved to see in Anaheim, for a bucket of prospects the Angels had, which if you look at it now, the Angels were stupid as hell for not pulling this trigger, because you would have got two dominant rotation guys to go along with Vladimir Guerrero and Miguel Cabrera batting back-to-back. What the hell? You would have had that. And all the Angels would have had to give up was Jeff Mathis, Dallas McPherson, Brandon Wood, Irvin Santana, and I think it was two other players to be named later or whatever like that. Because at the time, Brandon Wood, Dallas McPherson, Jeff Mathis were all top 20 or top 30, top 50 prospects. They were like, at the time, the Angels had a shit ton of prospects, and those guys were supposed to have better careers than what they wound up with. And they would have been Marlins, and the Marlins would have got fleeced. Yes, Irvin Santana would have worked out, but think about it. A.J. Burnett wound up pitching another 8 years after that, and solid, making the All-Star game a couple times. Dontrell Willis went to the All-Star game a couple times. Yes, his career ended a little early. But Miggy, look where Miggy's at right now. Maybe he's not in Detroit at this point. Maybe he's here in Anaheim. Who knows? But the point is, the Angels were this close to making the deal, and they backed out, not the Marlins. The Angels backed out because of fear of payroll, thanks to Artie, and also the fear of letting too many prospects go for players they thought they weren't going to control for very long. So that was the mistake on the Angels. That was a clusterfuck. That could have changed everything, because we all know Brandon Wood was a 4A guy. Dallas McPherson was a 4A guy. Jeff Mathis could never hit his weight, but was excellent behind the plate. And Irvin Santana was a serviceable pitcher, like a good number 3 for a good 4 to 5 years, and then his career tapered off. So yeah, the Marlins, the Angels would have won that trade for sure. Let's see. I'll get a couple more comments on it. Who is our clubhouse leader? Joey says, I'm not sure. I want to say Thor's helping out that the team as far as pitching staff. I think clubhouse leader, it's hard to say. I think someone's going to step up, but right now we don't know. Anthony Gonzalez says, how can the fans show or get involved or how can the fans of the show get involved? What are you specifying to, Anthony? Dang, I didn't know that. Leaf says 2006, the year of the rise of Weaver. Yeah, think about it. You would have had Weaver in 2006, AJ Burnett, and Dontrell Willis. What the hell, man? That's a hell of a rotation, man. Still can't believe that trade never happened. Yeah, that's one of those trades that behind the scenes it wasn't revealed that it was this close until like the year later. And that's when, like, I think Regans didn't have too much time after that. Like, Tony Regans was out of there, I think, not too long after that, or at least like that was the beginning of the end for him. Because I know he took over for Stoneman. He was like Stoneman's lackey there for a few years. Oh, and I think they still have had Lackey at that time? I think they would have too. Damn, that would have been a hell of a rotation. I remember that Miggy was going to be an Angel. Yep. Fucking Stoneman, big fuck. Yeah, exactly. I was pissed when they didn't pull that trade. Don't remind me, Todd. Sorry, Rally Chris. 2006 ended up a slight retooling year too. Yeah, absolutely. They really could have took advantage of that. Did Ohtani and Trout have a base hit last night? Trout did, Jacob. Ohtani went 0 for 4. He got the Nacho Player of the Night. He had 3 strikeouts, including a big double play in the 8th inning, which would have had the tying run in Trout coming up. Let's see. Jesus Valdez says, promote Benji Gill from Angels coaching staff as manager. You know, he just got into coaching. I think he was working in the Mexican League. I talked to him briefly in the offseason. He did a promo for us. He's a very nice guy. The players like him. He's got all kinds of baseball knowledge. I think for a fact Benji is going to get a coaching gig at some point. I don't think it's going to be like Social, where a guy like Dino Ebel should have had a job, or Alfredo Griffin. They never got their job being first base, third base coaches. I think Benji Gill could possibly move into the right spot. I don't know if it will be with the Angels. I don't know if they'll go with I think the Angels are already believes this team's got to make a splash as a manager. So whoever the next manager is going to be, it's going to be a retread or it's going to be a big name. I don't think they're going to promote from within. I think Benji Gill, if he is going to get a manager job someday, it's going to be like in Texas. It's going to be like in Oakland. It's going to be at a lesser team, and he's going to have to work his way up. It's unfortunate, but that's how it's going to go. I don't know if they'll hire him from like a first base coach up. I think he might have to take an assistant role or an assistant manager until he gets the spot. So, but I do like that Jesus. I mean, he managed down in the Mexican League and did a great job. I forget the team he managed for. So they all like him. So we'll see. Rally Chris says we could have had Trout, Miggy, Ohtani right now probably. Yeah, never know, dude. Yeah, Lack is still there. Let's see. Have a good day, Todd. Enjoy the game, Todd. Thank you, Anthony. And then Lackey, Willis, Burnett, Weaver. Fuck, yeah, that would have been a hell of a rotation, right, guys and gals? Lackey left us in 2009. He realized the Angels' window had closed, and he was done with the antics of the ALCS. Good point, Randy. And that was a tough loss to have because either way, he was a super gamer. All right, so with that being said, this has been a show to just kick off the, or to follow up on last night's game. I didn't get a chance to do the post game. I'm hoping to get on the post game tonight. If I do, it'll be later. It'll be probably about an hour after the game. So if you're up, there you go. If not, I'll just do a Sunday morning one. Can Duffy pick a one hop or no? He's decent, Jacob. He's decent, but he's no Walsh. I'll just say that. Marty says, have a great day, Todd. Enjoy the game tonight. Thank you, Marty. You have a good day and hope all is well with you. So with that being said, I think that's a good way to end it. Have a nice day, everybody. Enjoy it. It's a beautiful day. Get out and do something.